everyone, welcome back to Blade Lust. Before we start tonight, I want to confess something to you. Have you ever looked at a blade, at a knife, and felt things that you probably shouldn't? Yep, that's Blade Lust. The only show where we look at knives the way normal people look at celebrities. If you've ever whispered, damn, at a blade, you're in the right place. Welcome. We do 15 minutes, one knife, full obsession, and maybe a need for therapy at some point. Let's get into this. Today's object of desire is the Cold Steel 4MAX Scout. One of my personal favorite pocket knives. Was able to find my box so I could show you that. I usually don't keep these little cardboard boxes. I have carried this guy quite a bit. This is the Cold Steel 4MAX Scout. So it is not the premium version. This is the everyday working man's version. It's still an amazing, amazing pocket knife. This is the 4MAX Scout. It's a folding tank with the attitude of a fixed blade and the subtlety of a sledgehammer wrapped in denim. This one's a fan favorite. One of the most talked about hard use folders ever made. And honestly, it deserves every bit of attention that it gets. Calm, confident, knife lover energy engaged. Let's dive in. Cold Steel is a company that looked at normal knife testing and said, you know, that's pretty cute. Hold my beer and hand me something we can really abuse. They built their name on toughness, outrageous demonstrations, and never being shy about pushing the limits of what a folding knife can endure. The 4MAX Scout is part of that legacy. It's the more affordable version of the ultra premium 4MAX, but it keeps the same DNA. Overbuilt, oversized, overprepared. In the Cold Steel lineup, this model is the accessible hard use flagship, the one that lets everyday users experience the top tier Cold Steel brutality without the top tier price. Let's break down the Scout. The blade length is going to be 4 inches long, hence the 4MAX. This hole here in the handle, per Andrew Demko, who's the designer of many of their knives and also the triad locking mechanism, which this has on it, we'll get into that in a little bit, has stated that the original prototype had a hole here for a pin that you could insert. And when Lynn Thompson would take this knife, when he would take the prototype on African safari, it was to prevent him from cutting his hand. Andrew Demko liked the look, and so he kept the hole, although it no longer accepts a pin, not in the production model. The blade shape is a drop point. It is a high saber grind. You can see that grind. It is stone washed, has a stone wash finish. The blade steel is AUS 10A. That's austenitic stainless. Austenitic stainless. For those of you that don't know, 10A, which is known for toughness and stability. AUS 10A offers a balance of edge retention, corrosion resistance, and impact toughness. The handle material on this one, the non-premium version, is not G10. This is Griv-Ex or Griv-Ex, which is going to be a glass reinforced nylon over full stainless steel liners. With of course the triad locking mechanism, oversized hardware, thick liners, and a massive lock bar. You can see that lock bar here. Oversized massive locking bar. Lock mechanism is going to be the triad lock, which is a reinforced back lock designed for extreme pressure. And when I say extreme pressure, I mean it. The 4MAX has held up to 600 pounds of pressure in testing. Free hanging weight, 600 pounds, and this locking mechanism did not fail, and it also did not impact its usability. It's extremely heavy duty and robust as a locking mechanism. Some people do have an issue with, oh, I can't open it one-handed, I can't close it one-handed. You can certainly open it one-handed. You can use these oversized thumb studs like I'm doing here. You can also hook those on your pocket if you practice long enough, or you can do a wrist flick and you can get it deployed quickly. You obviously have to have strong hands, strong arms, and a strong wrist to flick it out because it is a heavy duty knife, but with practice you can do it quite easily and quickly. The pocket clip on the back is a tip up pocket clip, high tension, built for large handles. It is not reversible, but that's okay. It weighs about 10 ounces. The overall length is about 10 inches long. The closed length is around 6 inches. Again, ambidextrous thumb studs. This is not a gentleman's folder. This is the pocket equivalent of carrying a steel brick with a razor attached. Let's talk about the steel a little bit more. So the AUS 10A is the right call for a knife this size. Here's why. It's tough, meaning it handles twisting, torquing, and impact cuts. It has a solid corrosion resistance for outdoor use. It's easy to sharpen in the field. And it avoids the brittleness issues that harder steels can suffer in thick, hard-use blades like the Formax. Compared to something like D2 steel, AUS or AUS 10A resists chipping better. It's far more stainless and it sharpens way faster than D2 steel. This steel in this knife supports the Scout's intended role, which is a knife meant to take real-world punishment, real-world usage, and maybe even some abuse when it has to. The Formax Scout uses a drop point blade, a proven shape seen in hunting knives, survival knives, and military field blades. That drop point blade gives you a strong reinforced tip, great control, a generous belly for slicing, and excellent all-around versatility. It's a workhorse shape, one that most of us are really familiar with, and also one that doesn't require explanation because it's been trusted for generations. On a massive folder like this, the drop point becomes a powerhouse, letting you chop, baton, lightly, carve, slice, and stab with confidence. Again, Triad Lock held up to 600 pounds. That's over 2 of me jumping on this locking mechanism. I'm a big guy. It didn't break. What do you want from a pocket knife? What do you want from a folder? This is it. This is it. This is the one. The handle is big but incredibly comfortable. Again, I have medium to large size hands, so I can choke up here, or I can even go back if I needed to chop something. But it has just an excellent feel. You do have a little bit of jimping on the back here on the spine. The contouring fits again naturally into the hand, and the Griv-Ex texture, which you can see that here, it's texturized. Bites in just enough to stay locked even when your palms are wet. It is not overly aggressive. You're not going to feel like you've sanded your hands after carrying this and using it all day, but it's just enough to give you that sweet spot of retention even in wet conditions, muddy conditions, bloody conditions. It'll stay in your hand. The balance point sits slightly forward, giving this knife a fixed blade-like feel during heavy cuts. Let's talk a little bit about the carry. This is not a subtle knife. It gets attention. You pull this out of your pocket, it's definitely going to get attention. It's going to catch people's attention. You can hear that solid lockup. that happens when I flick the knife out. The size, even though it's stone washed and it's not all that reflective, the size alone, the thickness is going to get people's attention. It's going to get their focus. This is not a subtle knife. It's thick, it's tall, and it's heavy, 10 ounces. You will know it's in your pocket, and so will your leg, but that's okay. If you want something strong, I recommend this knife. The clip holds strong, tip up, and it does its job, but the Scout carries like a proud brick with a mission. What does this knife excel at? It excels at most outdoor tasks: heavy rope and strap cutting, carving, wood processing, camping, and truck carry, hard use work environments. It's not the best for kitchen prep, although you can certainly do it for that. You can use it for camp food prep. Detailed EDC task, light pocket carry, or fine precision cuts. It's not great for those, but that's not what this knife is for. This is for the guy who breaks knives. This is for the guy who treats things roughly. This is for a person who wants a folder that behaves like a fixed blade in disguise. Let's get to our Q&A session. Is the blade too big for EDC? For most people, maybe. For hard use work or outdoor carry, absolutely not. I will tell you, I've researched this knife a lot and I've carried it a lot. I am not a fan of how Mr. Demko was closing this knife. He was, I'm going to put it against my board here, he was doing the back lock and then he was moving his hands out and then shifting his hand up to close it. For me, this is a two-handed closing knife. I can certainly open it with one hand. I need to close it with two. For some people, that's an issue. It's not for me. If you're closing the knife and putting it away, the work's already done, right? If I need to deploy it quickly, I can deploy it quickly. But yeah, for most people, this might be a little big, but for hard use work or outdoor carry, absolutely not. Is AUS 10A good enough? It's more than good enough. It's ideal for a heavy impact-oriented blade like this. Is the Formax Scout overbuilt? Yes, it's proudly overbuilt. That's the entire point. Look at how thick those stainless steel handle scales are. I can squeeze this, and I've got a Captains of Crush gripper. Okay, I train my grip strength. I cannot squeeze this knife. I can't squeeze that knife handle because it's all steel, the liners, and they're thick. Is it a good first knife? Only if you want your first knife to be a pocket-sized apocalypse tool. It's perfect for that then. In closing, the Cold Seal Formax Scout is a monster in the best way possible. It's tough, dependable, overbuilt, and ready for the kind of abuse that folds lesser folders in half. No, it's not for everyone, but if you love big, strong, unapologetic folders, this one deserves a spot in your rotation. That's today's obsession. Thanks for tuning in. And remember, when it comes to knives, it's not just passion, it's blade lust.